fundamental Pilates mat class that I put together. It's good for all levels, especially people who are new to Pilates or who never really took the time to learn the basic Pilates principles. You're going to learn how to correctly engage your core, whether you're exercising on your back, your stomach, your side, hands and knees. So you can take what you learn in this class and really incorporate it into any other workout or activity you're doing during your day. So I hope you enjoy it. Let's begin by laying down on your back with your knees bent, feet flat on your mat. We're going to go through a few rounds of Pilates breathing here. So with Pilates breath, as you inhale, you want to widen your ribs to the side and down to the mat. As you exhale, pull your belly button in towards your spine. Inhale, fill the lungs, expanding your ribs back and to the side. Exhale, engage your deep abdominals, pulling your belly button in towards your spine. So let's do a few rounds of breathing into the ribs. Exhale, engaging the core. Now keep the core engaged as you breathe into the ribs. Exhale, pull deeper into your core. Keep the core in as you fill the ribs, fill the lungs to the side and to the back. Exhale, pull in deeper. And I want you to take your fingertips and put them just inside of your hip bones. And as you exhale, feel as if you're pulling those hip bones towards each other. What does that do to your core? Inhale, exhale, pull the hip bones together. 2 more times. Last one. And now let's find neutral pelvis. You're going to inhale and arch your low back off of the mat, aiming your tailbone towards the mat. There's a little space in my low back. Exhale, flatten your low back towards the mat, tucking your tailbone up towards the ceiling. Inhale, aim your tailbone down towards the mat, arching the low back. Exhale, flatten the low back, tuck the tail under. 2 more times. Inhale and arch. Exhale and flatten. Last one. And flatten the low back. And now I want you to stop halfway between those 2 positions so that there's just the tiniest little space under your low back. This is what we call neutral pelvis position. And if you need help finding that, you can take the heels of your palms and put them on your pointy hip bones in the front and your fingertips on your pubic bone, and find the place where your fingertips are in the same plane as your hip bones, so they're not tilted higher or lower. So you can just play around with that positioning. Find your neutral. There's a little space in your low back. Now take your ribs, and if they're popped up, I want you to set them down into the mat. Good. And we want to keep this rib position through most of our exercises. So holding on to this neutral pelvis position, deep core muscles are pulled in. You feel a wrapping around your midsection. Your ribs are tucked in to the carriage. We're now going to start with some arm movements. I want you to inhale the arms overhead. Exhale, back down. Inhale overhead. exhale down. And continue your breathing, your Pilates breathing. Inhale, expanding the ribs and the lungs. Exhale, core pulls in deeper. What you don't want to do is to inhale and have your low back and ribs arch off of the mat. Exhale, everything comes down to the mat. We don't want that. We want neutral pelvis, ribs pulling into the mat as arms come up overhead and arms come down. And now circle the arms out to the side. Nice big circles. Feel as if your spine is long and your arms are stretching out to the sides. And now reverse those circles. Again, we're not letting the ribs shift or pop up, and we're not changing the position of the pelvis as our arms are moving. 2 more in this direction. Continue with your breathing into your ribs. Exhale engages the deep core muscles. And rest. Now we're going to add in some leg movements. So neutral pelvis, plug the ribs down into the mat, core is engaged. Press your fingertips into the mat. Both feet are pressing into the mat. Take an inhale into your ribs. Exhale, float the right leg up. Inhale the leg down. Left leg floats up. Inhale down. Continue alternating legs here and check in with your low back and pelvis. Hopefully there's no shifting in your pelvis as you're lifting and lowering the legs. We don't want to see the back arching and flattening as you do this motion. You want to keep the space, that tiny space under your low back, the same. Last one. And now bring the right leg up to tabletop. Left leg comes up to meet it. Deep core pulls in here, and we're just going to tap the toes, alternating. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. 2 more on each side. Last one. And now we're going to switch in the center. So still alternating the legs. Pelvis is not shifting. If you're holding tension in the neck or the face, relax that tension out. All the work is happening between your ribs and your hips. The core's pulling in to stabilize here, so nothing's shifting. Last one. Keep both legs up at tabletop. Adding the arms in. Arms reach up over the shoulders. Opposite arm, leg, tap. Pull in, tap, pull in. Keep alternating. Inhale as you reach. Exhale, pull up. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. One more. Good. Bring the arms down to your side, feet down to the side, to the mat. Now let's go into some bridging. You want your feet to be sit bone distance apart. So not as wide as hip distance, a little closer together, about a fist distance between your feet. Inhale here. As you exhale, you're going to tuck your tailbone. Use your core to pull, to roll yourself up into your bridge. At the top, you want to stretch those knees over your toes. Pull your ribs in together. Take an inhale into your ribs here. As you exhale, you're going to roll down slowly, starting with the sternum, then the ribs, then the low back, to your tailbone, and roll all the way into your neutral. Inhale, exhale, tuck the tailbone, roll up your waistband, your ribs, all the way up to your shoulder blades. Your neck is relaxed here. There's no tension in your neck. It's all in your shoulder blades. Feel as if your knees are reaching over your toes. Inhale into the ribs. Exhale, roll down. Sternum, ribs, the waistband of your pants, to your tailbone, and back to neutral. Inhale, exhale, tuck the tail, roll yourself up, one level at a time. Pause at the top, widen the shoulders and the collarbones, pull your ribs together, stretch those knees over the toes. Exhale, roll down, one vertebrae at a time. Find that waistband, roll through your tailbone into neutral. Now we're going to try a couple flat back bridges. So the last one we rolled up, this time we're just going to lift straight up into our bridge, hinge at the hips to set the hips down. Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Lift and lower. Now think about, as you come down, the bottom of your ribs and your sacrum touch at the same time. Core is pulled in the whole time. Knees are pulling towards each other, not flailing out to the side. 2 more. Again, ribs and tailbone hit at the same time as you lower. Last one. And lower. Good. Now, we're going to practice some roll-ups. So, the full version of the roll-up, your arms are overhead, you reach towards the ceiling, and you roll up one vertebrae at a time as your belly button pulls in towards your spine. You reach long, roll down, one vertebrae at a time. If you find you're using momentum or are unable to do that roll up, you can start with your knees bent and use your leg to help you roll up. The key is, when you're doing a roll up, is you want the abdominals to be pulling in towards each other through the whole movement. You don't want any pooching up. And if you're using your leg, make sure to alternate. Inhale, exhale, peel up one vertebrae at a time. Sit up nice and tall. Exhale, roll down one vertebrae at a time, keeping those shoulders relaxed away from your ears. Good, let's do one more. Full version, legs out in front of you. Sit up tall, exhale, roll yourself down. Nice job. Now we're going to go on to our hands and knees. Hands are under the shoulders, knees are under the hips. And I want you to think about neutral pelvis position on hands and knees here. So in order to find that, let's do a few rounds of CatCow. So round the back, tucking the tail, looking towards the navel. Inhale as you drop the belly towards the mat. Extend through your back. Exhale, pull the core in as you round your back. Inhale, extend. Exhale, deepen your core connection, reaching your back towards the ceiling. This time as you extend, keep your belly button pulled in towards your spine. as your ribs pull towards each other and you extend through the back. Try that again. Exhale, your belly button pulls in deep as you find your stretch. Inhale, keep the belly button in towards the spine as you find your extension. One more time. Good. And now, halfway between those two extremes will be about your neutral pelvis position. And one way to think about it is shining your sit bones towards the wall behind you. Now from here, let your belly hang down towards the mat, and now hug your belly up towards your spine. Do this a few times. You're letting your gut fall out, hugging it back in towards the spine, and try not to change the position of your pelvis as you do this. So belly hangs, belly pulls up, no movement through the spine. Last time, hug your belly up towards your spine. Elbows are going to stay straight. You are going to bring your shoulder blades together behind you as your sternum drops towards the mat. And then press your arms away, widening your shoulder blades behind you. So inhale, drop the sternum towards the mat, shoulder blades come together. Exhale, widen the shoulders, press the mat away. Again, inhale, drop down, elbows are staying straight but soft. Exhale, press the mat away. 2 more times. And try to keep those shoulders away from the ears as you do this. Last one. Good. Still keeping the spine, the belly button hugged in towards the spine. Now you're just going to lift your right hand off of the mat, set it down, lift the left hand up, set it down. As you do this, press into your knees and into your left hand as the right hand lifts. And same thing, press into your knees and your right hand as the left hand lifts. One more time, each side. Don't allow any shifting through the pelvis or the shoulders. Stabilizing. Good. Now we're going to go into opposite arm leg reach. So let's start with the legs. You're going to slide your right leg out behind you. Keep your pelvis square to the front, square to the mat. Lift the leg up just with the glute. Don't let the back arch as you lift. We don't want to see that. Your pelvis stays neutral. You're lifting with the glute. Set the leg down, pull it in. Slide your left leg out, lift up, set it down, pull it in. Right leg, lift up, set it down, pull it in. Left leg, lift up, set it down, pull it in. Now, let's see if we can add the arms to this. So, start with the right leg, left arm slides out. Check to make sure everything's square. Lift up, set it down, pull in. Right arm, left leg, square up, lift up, set it down, pull in. Again, lift, set it down, pull in. Make sure there's no arch through the low back. Lift up, set it down, pull in. Take a rest. Go into your child's pose. Flip your palms up. Take 2 deep breaths into the ribs. And then come back up to hands and knees. One last thing in this position. Go back to your neutral pelvis, shoulders away from ears. We're going to step it back into a plank. So you're going to slide your right leg out behind you. Tuck the toes under. Don't change anything as you slide your left leg out. Keep your belly button hugging in towards the spine. Neck is long. If this is too much for you, drop down to your knees and keep the same line through your body. So core is pulling up towards your spine. One more deep breath in. Reach those heels towards the wall behind you and drop the knees under. One more child's pose. And now sit up tall with your legs out in front of you, about mat distance apart. We are going to take a little stretch to the hamstrings here as we roll forward. So actually a good way to do this is to, if you have a wall available, which this will be my wall, if you sit yourself up against a wall with your hips right against the wall, sit up nice and tall, pull the core in. If your hamstrings are tight, you can bend the knees slightly. And from here, arms come up, you're just going to peel yourself away from the wall, one vertebra at a time, pulling your belly button in towards the spine. Get a nice reach here, shoulders away from ears. Inhale, exhale, restack the spine against your wall, pulling in to rise up. Inhale, exhale, roll forward, pulling in with the ribs, the belly button, give a good reach, shoulders away from ears, and restack that spine. Inhale at the top, exhale, pull in to roll down, keeping length through the spine, no collapsing, reach forward, and then restack that spine. Good. Now we're going to go into doing a little side bend stretch. So from here, you're sitting up tall, right on those sit bones, knees are bent if you need them. Inhale tall, exhale, side bend over as if you're between two panes of glass. Inhale up, exhale, side bend, keeping those sit bones anchored onto the mat. Exhale, side bend, core pulls in, feel those obliques working to keep you between your two panes of glass. Inhale and side bend, finding length through the spine. One more time, each direction. Inhale, expanding those ribs. And again, inhale, up and over. Nice job. Now take your arms to your shoulders. We're going to do some rotation through your spine. So again, inhale up tall. You're going to exhale 3 times. Rotating. Inhale, center. Exhale 3 times. Deepening your rotation with each exhale. Inhale, center. Exhale 3 times, rotate. Now check in with those sit bones. You want no shifting through the sit bones. So we're not rotating through the lumbar spine. We're rotating through the thoracic spine where your ribs connect into your spine. Let's do one more in each direction, sitting up nice and tall. Exhale, pulling the core in, using those obliques to rotate. Inhale, center. Exhale, bringing out the spine. Inhale, center. And now just reach for those toes and take a nice stretch here. Relaxing the neck. right back. We're going to do some leg circles. So both legs are going to be straight out. Let's find that neutral pelvis again. Wrap around the midsection with your core. Feel your ribs pull into the center. Fingertips are going to press into the mat, widening the sternum and your shoulders. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, lift your right leg up towards the ceiling. Now, if this is too much on your hamstring, just take a bend. And from here, let's do a little hamstring stretch. You can just pull that leg towards you any amount, and you can bend the knee, straighten the knee, flexing the foot. Last one, hold it here, arms at your side. Left foot is pressing into the mat with the foot flexed. Both hands are pressing into the mat, core is pulled in. We're going to go into tiny circles here with that right leg. And what we're trying to do is circle the femur within the hip joint without the hips shifting side to side. So hips are stable, just the thigh is moving within the hip joint. 2 more in this direction. Shoulders and neck are relaxed. And reverse, stretching that leg towards the ceiling. If the knee is bent, that's okay. You're still thinking about stabilizing through that hip. Pressing the left hip into the mat, fingertips into the mat. Last one, set that right foot down. Inhale, exhale, left foot up towards the ceiling. Take a moment to stretch. We're going to bend the knee, stretch towards the ceiling. 2 more. Foot is flexed here. Hold it. Point the toe. Right foot is flexed, pressing into the mat. Fingertips pressing into the mat. We're going to do 6 circles in each direction. Again, bent knee is okay. Stabilizing through the hips. If your leg is straight, really feel like you're stretching towards the ceiling, drawing a circle around the ceiling. Last one, and reverse. Keep your breathing nice and stable. Still pressing into that right leg. We've got 3 more, 2, and 1. Lower that left leg down towards the mat. And now roll onto your, let's do your right side. Now line yourself up with the back of your mat. Legs are pointed towards the front corner of your mat. For your head, you can either lay on your arm, fold the arm, whatever's comfortable. The higher your head gets, the more challenging the exercise is going to be. So, we want to find core engagement when you're laying on your side. So to do that, let your gut out, pull your gut in, and feel a wrapping around your midsection as if you're lifting your waist, your lower waist off of the mat. Use your front hand to stabilize. If you're up on your hand like I am, feel as if you're pulling this elbow towards your hip, and that's going to create this space under your body. Check out your hips. Make sure they're stacked one on top of each other. Shoulders are stacked. Inhale the top leg up, exhale down. Reaching that leg long out of the hip joint as you lift and lower. What you don't want to do is lift so high that your waistband, your waist starts moving. So you want to keep your waist still, core pulled in as you lift and lower. Let's do 3 more. 2, 1, hold it up. We're going to kick forward, extend back. Kick forward, flexed foot, point, and extend back. As you extend back, feel like your ribs are pulling in, belly button's pulling in towards the spine. Don't arch through the low back. Inhale, exhale. You've got 2 more kicks here. Inhale and exhale. Bring the foot back in. We're going to circle backwards. Hips are stable. Feel a wrapping through your midsection. Waistline is lifted. 3 more. 2, 1. And now reverse. So reach back, around and forward. Keep that core pulled in. Hips are stable. No movement through the waistline. 2 more. Last one. Now take that top leg and hug it in. Roll onto your back again. Take that knee you were just working with, cross it over your right leg. Pull your left knee towards your right shoulder. This is a big piriformis stretch. And then open up that knee and pull your right thigh towards your body any amount, flexing your left foot. 2 deep breaths here. Good, uncross the legs. And now we're going to roll onto your left side. And repeat all that on the left side. So again, lining up your back to the back edge of the mat. Feet come towards the front corner. Find your core. Pull your waistline up off of the mat. Feel like you're pulling that elbow in towards your side. You want to stay lifted through the whole exercise. If your hips are back like mine were, stack them one on top of each other. Stretch the legs out long. Inhale that leg up. Exhale, lower. Keep the neck and the shoulders relaxed. You've got 5 more. 4. Check in with that waistline. Keep it lifted off of the mat. 2, 1. Hold that leg up. You're going to kick it forward and point it back. Kick forward, point back, keeping the hips stable. Exhale. Inhale forward. Exhale back. You've got 2 more. Neck is relaxed. Last one. Good. Keep hovering the leg. Extend out long. Circle backwards 6 times. Keep breathing. Each exhale pulls the core in deeper, stretching that leg out long. 2 more. And now let's reverse. Got 5 more. Core is pulled in. We're really working on building endurance through the core. Can you keep that lift through your waistline for all 6 rotations? Last one. And we're going to pull that top knee in. Roll it onto your back. Cross the right leg over the left. Pull the right knee towards your left shoulder. A couple deep breaths here. Open up that knee. Pull the right, or the left leg towards your chest. Right foot is flexed. And uncross those legs. Now you're going to roll over onto your belly. Rolling over onto your belly, we're going to find how to engage the core on your belly. So first, let your gut out into the mat. Now pull your belly button up towards your spine. Take that lumbar spine and stretch it out. So how to do that is you want to reach your tailbone towards the wall behind you so that you minimize the arch in your low back. You'll feel like you're pressing the front of your hip crease into the mat. Good. Now take your hands and put them under your forehead. Keep that core engaged. And we're going to just flex the right foot 2 times. No shift through the pelvis. Straighten that right leg out from the glute. Set it down. Flex your left foot 2 times. Point and stretch it out. Set it down. Right leg. Bend. Stretch. Set it down. Left leg. Stretch. Set it down. Keep going with this, and as you do it, check in with your belly button. You want to feel like it's lifted up off of the mat throughout the entire exercise. So your breath is really going into your ribs as you inhale. Exhale, pulling deeper into the spine. Your neck and shoulders are relaxed. Last one. Good. And now take your hands to either side of the mat of your shoulders, slightly in front of the shoulders. Separate your legs just a little if you have any low back discomfort. And we're going to go into a mini swan. So you are going to pull your hands towards your body as you inhale and lift up any amount. Exhale, come down. So with swan, we want the lift to be coming from your thoracic spine more than your low back. So as you lift, feel like you're really shining that sternum in front of your body as your shoulder blades glide down your back, lengthening the spine. As you come down, you're lengthening the spine even further. Again, inhale, pull the hands towards you. As you lift, shoulder blades glide down your back. And come down. Let's do 2 more. Inhale and lift. Lengthen, legs are active behind you. Lengthen the spine as you come down. Last one. Inhale and lift. And exhale. Lengthen down. Good. Now we're going to go into some swimming. So arms and legs are stretched out. This guy out of the way. Again, flatten out that low back curve by pressing the crease of your hip into the mat. Shoulders away from ears, belly button pulled up towards the spine. Lift opposite leg and arm, and switch, and switch. Now just like every other Pilates exercise, as you're moving the limb, you don't want any shifting through the pelvis, the low back, or the shoulders. So that rectangle of your core, shoulders to hips, is staying perfectly stable as your opposite arm and leg reach. And now speed it up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more lift up and lower. Go ahead and press back into your child's pose. Good. And now coming around to sit, we are going to restack the spine as we're finished with our workout here. So if you're on the floor, go into, let's start on hands and knees. Tuck your toes under and shift your weight back over onto your feet and just find a nice tuck position here. Now reach your heels towards the ground as your tail lifts up towards the ceiling. Knees are soft. Your chest is resting on your thighs. And now you're going to slowly pull your belly button off of your thighs as you begin to roll yourself up one vertebrae at a time, tucking the tail, pulling the belly button in, pulling the ribs together. Stand tall, shoulders glide down your back. Let's inhale the arms up. Exhale, we're going to roll down one more time, pulling in through the abdominals to roll yourself down. Knees are soft and can bend any amount that's needed. At the bottom here, press into your big toe joint, pinky toe joint, and heel. Lift up through your arch as you roll your body up one vertebrae at a time. Shoulders relaxed. Shoulder blades glide down your back. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms to your side. And thinking about your feet here before you go. Big toe joint, pinky toe joint, heel. Lift up. Feel your arches lift towards your kneecaps. Kneecaps lift towards your hips. Core pulls in, standing up nice and tall. Sorry, my head is cut off. And we are done with our, I would call this fundamental Pilates class. Thank you. Bye-bye.